This is music related.
Okay, I'm just letting you know we
Yeah.
are on the internet. Stop being homophobic. No, I'm just kidding.
Bad Omens, even though I didn't like the song that they put out a while ago, and I told you, I sent it to you, and I was like, man, it's such a letdown. They just released another song, and I was listening to it on the way here. They released it like today or something, and it's a real soft song, but it's weird too, where it's a soft song, but it doesn't have any dynamic sort of rise in it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like even a soft song has a little bit of a peak, and it just kind of stays pretty flat the whole time. And I was like, man, I don't know if I like this. And then I was like, honestly, this would be if the whole album's like this would be one of those albums for Bad Omens that I might not like, but it could inform some variety in their upcoming projects, which could be good for them.
Yeah.
That way they don't get... Because if you think about it, that one that I sent you,
Yeah.
that I was like, man, it needs a breakdown.
Yep.
If it did have a breakdown, it would almost sound exactly like Love is the Death of Peace of Mind song. If it did have that breakdown. Because that's what that song sounds exactly like with a breakdown. It's funny, I think a really good example of that too, about people hearing songs and being like, no, that sounds too much like the other one. I think it was like 2-3 years ago maybe. Linkin Park released a bunch of tracks that they were going to put on Meteora that they held off the album. And they released them because they're all original songs with Chester having recorded the vocals completely. And so it was like a nice little, hey man, we're going to put your work out there.
Yeah.
But, and they're good songs, but if you listen to them and you know what songs are on the album of Meteora, you're like, oh, I know exactly why they didn't put this one on there. Because it sounds like this song, and the song they put on there is actually better.
Gotcha. Yeah, no, I can see that. See, that was what was so cool about, like, Meshuggah. As much as I love Meshuggah, they get a little bit of that. They catch a little bit of that flack from me because some of their albums, the whole thing sounds the same.
Yeah.
And some of their albums are incredibly diverse and magical, to say the least. But that's why I always will give a spot, even though I really don't listen to them anymore. Metallica, even the old Metallica, I don't really listen to. But I will always give them a spot in my most influential bands because their diversity that they display at Ride the Lightning through Master of Puppets into And Justice for All and honestly into the Black Album really displays just how darn good of a songwriter James Hetfield is. You know,
Yeah.
Dave Mustaine's got him on the riffs, man. Dave Mustaine riffs, as a diehard metal guitar player that loved thrash for a period of his life, loved thrash metal for a period of my life. Dave Mustaine's riffs are way thrashier. I mean, he needs to be proud of himself for that stuff, but he has to face the reality that he's just not as good as a songwriter. And because on Master of Puppets, there's no better example. You start with Battery. It starts with an epic acoustic intro. Wish I could play it, but we'll get shot with a drone. It starts with the epic acoustic intro with the accompanying guitar solos, playing the supported harmonies. Just so unbelievably epic. What a great way to start the album. Then it goes into Master of Puppets, the namesake, the magnum opus of thrash metal. There is no more crowning achievement in the crown of thrash metal than the song Master of Puppets. It's got everything, the clean bridge, everything. Then it goes into the Drop D song, The Thing That Shouldn't Be. Slow tempo, sludge metal before sludge metal was the thing. They invented it and no one gives them credit for it, in my opinion. That song's so low and heavy and drony. And then they go into Sanitarium, like a radio hit. Sanitarium, more of a ballad. It's like, this is cool. Then they go into Disposable Heroes, just a straight up classic thrash song about being a military guy, full of machine gun riffs. I mean, the rhythm in that, it's just heavy. It's so fun to play. Pure thrash through and through on that song. That's just a straight up good thrash metal song. Track 6, Leopard Messiah. They go into this odd, like almost Meshuggah-esque style of these kind of slower, groovy breakdown stuff. Then they go into Orion. And Orion is like the most incredible heavy metal instrumental ever written. There's no lyrics in it. The bass player wrote most of it. It's just a prog rock, prog metal dream come true. No vocals. And then they end on quite possibly their heaviest thrash metal song, Damage Incorporated. That song's so heavy, it's ridiculous. No songs on those albums are alike. Maybe Damage Incorporated and Disposable Heroes. Maybe you could put Battery with those three. But man, that's how you do an album. And you know who was really, really, really exceptional at it, and I will die on this hill, was Led Zeppelin. They inspired me big time, not as far as their sound or what they had to say, but because they put Fool in the Rain on their album, where it's got the piano. Now let me check to see what other songs are on that real quick. We definitely can't play that. What album is that on? Because then I believe that's the one with Black Dog.
Oh, really?
Into the Outdoor. No, I didn't have that on there. But anyways, they're the band that has Black Dog, Fool in the Rain, Stairway to Heaven, Wanton Song.
Didn't they? Did they base a lot, like their albums are all like rock operas? Or am I thinking of somebody else?
They're noted for being very heavily influenced by J.R. Tolkien and Lord of the Rings.
I knew that.
Very heavily.
Because one of their songs has a lot of Hobbit references in it, doesn't it?
Yes. There might be a whole album. Dude, I took Kara to her hair appointment and got my undercut trimmed at the same time this past weekend. Dude, it was so hot in that salon. I was angry. And I saw a guy so fabulous, he had no business being in public.
Where did you hear that?
I just made that up. That dude was very flamboyant. I've never seen him there. He must be new. Definitely cutting hair. Boy, he was over there. The owner came over and talked to Kara for a while. Allie is her name. She is probably mid to late 40s and looks exactly like a Barbie doll. Exactly. Like what you imagine a living Barbie doll looks like. She looks like that, just the mature lady version. Thin as a rail, tall heels. The Barbie figure probably has the DLC pack. If I had to guess by how thin she is and the proportions of the way that they are. She's very nice. She was over there talking to Kara a bunch. Since I'm the thing that should not be in there, she made it a point to be friends with me. I love it. I purposefully wear some of my heaviest aggressive shirts. I haven't worn the Arnold shirt yet. I'm thinking about it. I don't want to do that.
Yeah,
because I don't want to make people uncomfortable.
I forgot what I was gonna say. Oh, the lady that cuts my hair that said that she couldn't do my hair anymore because it's too short, essentially. She's like a salon. So then now that I don't have long hair, she's like, I can't really do fades and stuff like that, so you have to go to a barber. She's like, I have a friend that's a barber. I'll send you her contact information. She's like, you'll have to schedule it with her, though. She schedules pretty far out. And so I was like, okay. So she gave me her website. She schedules through a website. You don't even like text her or anything like that. So she just sent me the link to her website. And so I got on and I'm like, okay, and here's some open dates. And I look and it's like 10:30 a.m. on a Tuesday. I'm like, okay. And so then I look at the next date and it's like 1:30 a.m. on a Wednesday. And it's like for the next 3 months, the only days she has available are like in the middle smack dab of my work day. And I'm like, I'm not taking a day off for a haircut. And so I knew there was a girl at my gym that I dated her sister in high school. And she goes to my gym now. And I follow her on Instagram. And so I messaged her and I was like, hey, do you cut hair? And she just replied back within like 15 minutes, was like, I do, you should totally come get your hair cut by me. I was like, okay. So, and then I was like, yeah, my lady said she couldn't. And she goes, well, wait, what do you want done? And I sent her a picture. She goes, okay, well, I just need to make sure that I could do it first. Yeah. I was like, I didn't think it would be a problem.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's going to look good, but here we are.
We got no copyright strikes for me doing karaoke night. So that's a good Catatonia, Cinnamon Chasers, and Devil Sold His Soul seem to be stream safe. I'm excited to do this thing for my buddy. I wish I had my other phone so I could show you the video he sent. It looks cool. Like, it seems pretty neat, man. And I hope that I can help. I already got an idea what I want to do, but I'm going to wait to see what they send back. I'm going to make it basically like, I'm going to give it, you've got to, I gave Ayako a hook. You've got to give it a hook. You've got to give this thing a guitar moment where like the solo grabs you. The lead, the melody, not so much the solo, but you've got to give it that hook, that thing that you're just like, ooh, that got me hyped, and then you're hyped about the product.
Yeah.
You like if it had music like this, it has the equivalent to trap beat that makes you feel like this on it. It's just dull. It kills the whole vibe. It's flat. You need effects. As a matter of fact, I might time it perfectly to the video. You need like riser effects, you need boom sounds, you need a lead that you remember, you need a melody that you remember, and that one needs something more akin to like Decepticons would have a song kind of like it. Almost, it's not evil, but that was wrong because Decepticons are evil. Something with a little more, like Ayako's is because I knew it was for a young woman, and I knew that it was for her character that was her. That has I needed to give that melody a different uplifting type of a feel. I can already see what kind of melody I need for the second one, which is more of a it gives you almost the sensation of danger, if I could say it in any way. What are you drawing now?
So, I had picked this a long time ago that I want to draw this scene, but I want to draw the death of Boromir.
Oh yeah. You giving what's her face a break, or is that one done?
I mean, it's done. I hate it, but it's done.
Okay.
I'm not. If you end up going back and working on the song, I might try it a third time, see if I can't do it in a way that's not stupid.
Good idea to take a break, though.
But yeah, I just needed a break from that one. This one's interesting because I'm using a sort of technique that I haven't used in a very long time where I'm drawing from imagination with reference photos.
Interesting. I just thought of something super important. I bet you if I find out this is what's going on inside my doll, I'm going to feel like an absolute smooth-brained, slack-jawed Neanderthal. Because if I log on to this and realize that it changed the Osseo drivers because OBS is using the Osseo drivers, that's going to be 100,000% why the audio pops and clicks. And I didn't think to check that until just now. And you're like, shut up, you pencil neck dork. What are you talking about?
If I look over and you're not wearing a lab coat, shut up. Dude, he said something that
No,
is...
it's okay.
Huh?
No, it's okay. Never mind.
Okay. He said something, and I've probably sent it to you before because I feel like I've heard him say this before, but it just, I forgot he did, and it resonates with me on a spiritual level. He said, if you say something to me, and it's... and I say what? You get one what?
Yes,
dude.
that's great. I love that.
He's like, if you go, hey, I say what? You go, I asked where you parked your car. He goes, you elevate the volume and enunciate. He goes, if I say, you go, hey, I say what? And you go, hey,
that's
you,
it.
dude.
Yes.
He's like, you, dude.
Oh, man. He's got some moments that are funny.
But I resonate. I literally, when I worked at the bar, people joked that I was deaf because I can't hear. And I'll give it to them. I don't hear very well. But they are in a loud white noise environment and they don't look at you when they speak. So like they would have their head facing away from me, not giving me any indication of being able to lip read to help myself. And they would just be like, and I'd be like, what? And they'd be like, and I'd be like, look at me and elevate your volume.
Yeah.
You're like, geez.
E, G, that's it for the right hand. Left hand we have 4 chords for the first part, the 4 chords.
I'm going to metalize this. Are you ready? Mm-hmm. I'm going to metalize. You know what this is, don't you?
Hello guys, this is Amos.
Is that from the Fellowship?
Nope. Close.
Oh, Braveheart? Sorry, I cheated and I looked.
I forgot which one is the... Yes. Yes. I'm about to metalize this. All right, here we go. So I'm going to get the chords from this guy. Thank you, sir. Shout out to Amosdal music. Amosdal? Amosdal. I don't know why I say everything so weird.
I was about to say, you do that thing that annoys me, that whenever people say Latin words, but you know what I mean? Where it's like they'll be talking completely normal and then they'll be like,
Yes.
quesadilla.
Yes.
And you're just like, dude, you could just say quesadilla.
Yeah.
You do it with German words.
Yes, I do every time because they're so
but it's
weird,
not,
dude.
yeah, but it's not like you're trying to sound authentic. You just go into this like
I play a character.
ridiculous character.
Yes.
Yeah. It's super obnoxious, but I love it.
Because when we were in Germany, they call it Köln. It's not Cologne. They go,
Yeah.
Köln, welcome to Köln. So that's how it started when we were on vacation. I kept going out in the street, and there'd be crowds of people, and I'd go, Köln! And it would echo in the buildings, and people would be like, Americans. Okay, we can remove this. I want all of these. Yes, I want all of the. I want to remove this. I want to remove
All of the.
I'm gonna remove all that. Okay, so we're gonna start with the bass. We're gonna get the main chords down. So he goes. F. Ba-dum-ba-na-na-na-na. Is that the right? I don't know about that. No, what the hell is that?
The low key sound like you are my fire.
Bum, dum, ba, bum, and so bum, and bum, ba, na, 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 na.
Dude, if this ends up looking like it looks in my head, this is going to be cool.
Nice.
I'm preparing myself for disappointment, though. Because I think I like the composition I came up with. That's what I do is, like, I drew this in my head for, like, 2 weeks. Do you do that with music?
Oh, yeah. Hell yeah.
I drew this in my head for, like, 2 weeks.
There it is. Already done. This is gonna be cool, dude. So it goes. Let's go ahead and put a lead. Let's go ahead and put one lead on this real quick. Is it in it's in college key. Ah. Nope. Oh. Oh. There it is. Okay. Let me try playing it one more time, and then I'll record it a rough draft to get the melody down, and then I'll base the structure off that. Oop. Oh. Hey, I'm at work. I can't talk much, but I'm listening. Okay, roger that, homie. We're working on some tunage. Kyle's here drawing something completely different. You'll see it soon.
I'm not going to ask you to play this, by the way, but I made a playlist of songs to listen to when I'm weight vest walking that's just like cinematic scores.
Yes.
Dude, there is a very underrated song from the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise that I'm going to send to you at some point. I'm actually going to send it to you right now, and you just listen to it whenever, you know? No.
Ah, I messed up.
That's one of those things that, like, I don't know how it translates via drawing. But, like, if I was drawing something and you were just, like, constantly showing me drawings, it wouldn't be annoying, but I wouldn't be able to devote any attention to what you're showing me. But when you play music, every now and then, it makes me want to hear certain other things too, you know?
Yep. Messed up right at the end. All right, that's going to be enough of a bass for me to start making a structure for this.
Oh, yeah. You getting anything from me?
What do you mean?
I just muted my mic real quick because I went
yeah,
to
no,
the
you should
bathroom
do it.
and I didn't want that fan to be like, ah.
Yeah. Does it do the same melody the whole time? Or the same bass line? Does it go to C? I feel like it goes up a note. Nope. C sharp? No, definitely not that. D? Nope, definitely not that. I hear another note there. Hold on a minute.
Now, I have a weird question. As you're doing that right now, is that audio coming through the stream or is that
Yeah.
only coming through your microphone on
No,
the
it's,
stream?
no, it's coming through the stream.
Okay.
Wait a minute. Oh no, what did I just do? Okay. Okay, this is wrong. Okay, that's wrong. Okay, what is it? Okay. That is what it does.
No, she still hasn't said anything. She's probably stopping and... Or not stopping, closing. Closing the shop down. Stopping the shop down. Dude, my brain's not working.
Stop, drop.
Set up shop.
Yeah, open up shop. that guitar's out of tune is what my problem. I think the problem is the guitar's out of tune because I'm an. She's talking to you.
Oh. I'm sweeping. By the way, I finished Vinland Saga. It was great. Me and my dad started Monster. It's going pretty good. Only a few episodes in. What's Monster? This is what makes me feel like a boomer. I almost feel like she's told us what Monster is. I don't remember. Ugh. So, also, I echo. You finished Vinland Sagas in seasons 1 and 2, or you just finished the first season of it? Just so I'm clear what you mean. Because I'm about to say something I don't want. I haven't mentioned Monster. It's an older anime. Been on my to-do list for a while. Okay, so it's an older one. Interesting.
Our fake Asian friend. I'm teasing you. That's why I feel like a boomer. I swear
Would you
to
just
the
be
Lord,
saying things?
I swear to the Lord, I thought I smelled a minority through that interwebs. All right.
Finished 1 and 2. Okay, cool. Yeah, I don't know if you know this. I'm pretty sure you probably do, just because you seem to be a step ahead of me on all my fun facts. But the king that is at the end of Vinland Saga, that young king that Thorfinn actually saved in the first season, and he comes back with his army, and he's like sieging that farm, trying to take it. And Thorfinn goes and talks to him, and he's out by the water, and he seems like he's going crazy, and he calls out for the waves to stop, and like this, I can't remember what he does. It's like he calls for the waves to stop and the sun to go down or something like that. I can't remember exactly, but he's trying to command the elements. And like in that moment when they do it, you're like, dude's nuts. And then he kind of laughs it off and says, see, I have no power over these kind of things. So that king is actually a historical figure, and it is somewhat lightly recorded in history about him that he did that exact thing. And the historical tales of it, yeah, bro was going crazy. The historical tales of it, no one understands whether he was actually crazy and thought he was like a god, or if he was actually a really wise ruler and was illustrating to his men that he wasn't a god. And so there's a few different accounts of both takes historically, and nobody really knows what side or the other is true. And I thought Vinland Saga did a really, really good way of kind of honoring both sides of that story. Showing that, making you think, okay, is he crazy? But wait, what? That's insane. Yeah. Sick. I got a fun fact in there she didn't know about. Let's go.
None of that, please. I had a tennis game yesterday, played 2 games, 1 singles, 1 doubles. I won both. Honestly, the other team was trash.
Love that narration there.
Oh, the other team was trash. You don't know what you're talking about. We just had a bad day. That's what I'm doing my best impression of an anime.
You don't sound half bad.
Every day's a bad day for you. The voice. He's saying. I don't know why there's clown horns in it, but. Okay. Ooh, let the main down. The main attraction. Yeah. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, this is fun. You don't seem to understand. My power in tennis is over 9,000. Ah! Oh God, I had a hangnail. So, I'll quit. It's getting way OD. OD. Old man's ODing. I'm not gonna do this every time, but we did find those notes. We need some drums. Basic drums get me through the night. I've got 2 tickets to paradise. Won't you pack your bags? We'll leave tonight. I've got 2 tickets to paradise. That guy used to be a cop.
Eddie Money did?
Yep. That's how he got started.
It's amazing. I've got. There's an episode of The Office where Michael Scott. He's got 2 tickets to go to Jamaica, and he tells somebody, he's like, I've got 2 tickets to paradise. Why don't you pack your bags? We're leaving the day after tomorrow. Like every time I hear that song, that's what plays in my head. Pack your bags. We're leaving the day after tomorrow.
leaving tomorrow. What the hell is this? All right.
Aw. Yeah, I was on a baseball team once that used to thump people, and I was on a basketball team once that used to get thumped by people. And it is definitely more fun being on the side that is uncontrollably good. It is less fun when you have to roll out there and finish a game when you're just get destroyed. It's her first year playing. It's my third. She had no chance of winning. Yeah, that's the thing too, is like, when it comes to high school, I feel like the skill gap between years is huge. Occasionally you'll get those absolute, like, grown in the lab specimen athletes that just show up in freshman, sophomore year and give seniors a run for their money. But that's really not all that common. Most of the time it's just like, because then the skill gap between a senior in high school and a freshman in college is crazy too. And I think usually in college that's where the skills start settling.
Okay, I kind of messed up one part.
I played in middle school too, so I have an early lead on most people. Yeah, I played baseball from like age 7 to age 18, and so I could adapt pretty quickly. High school was a little harder because I had some crummy coaching. Not that I'd like to blame coaches, but these coaches were messing with my swing, and it was not helpful. But basketball, they dumped me in sophomore year for the first time, and I looked goofy whenever I was playing. Now I got a mop, she said.
Wall of sound guitars. Check. Oh yeah, this is gonna sound enormous. huge quad guitars, different octaves. There it is. Okay. There it is. Okay, let's record the this really high lead. Let's see how this works.
Still waiting on the day you put your music on Spotify, she said.
Oh, well, that's a lot of work, but one of these days it's gonna happen. Are you gonna make your video clip first? Or am I gonna make it to Spotify first? We've got ourselves a good old-fashioned race. Huh, sucks to suck.
Here's the deal, dude. You're kind of too good at that.
For a guy that doesn't watch it?
For a guy that doesn't watch it, you're too good at that, so you are like grandfathered into being an anime nerd.
Ha! I do my best. I wanted to be a voice actor for a long time, okay? So, there you go. Now you get it.
Oh, young Skywalker. Oh, brains you have not. Stupid you are.
Okay, here it is. Uh-uh. Oh, okay. Easier way to play it. Bro, it's gonna take me forever to write one of my stories so I can draw it. I understand. Take your time. Make it epic. Don't settle. Don't let me peer pressure you into it either. I'm a punk. All right, let's do this. Immediately, off rip. You hitting strings you're not even playing, brother. You're not even on time, brother. What are you doing, bro? Playing like garbage. Something so easy. It's always the easy riffs. It's alright. It'll do for now. This is final takes. Maybe the rhythm guitar might be the final take. I did that pretty clean, but we're gonna see. We shall see. All right. Ayako, Ayako, Ayako. Do you know what this music is? It's not my music. I'll give you a chance. I know you're mopping. I'm sorry. I'll respect your time.
I won't answer the question. No, I'm just kidding. Oh, I just dropped my phone on my foot. Right on my big toe.
What did you say to me?
I was just talking to myself, man.
What'd you do?
I dropped my phone on my big toe.
Oh,
Corner of it just smacked me.
That poor. This tempo's too fast. I want this to be epic. As soon as I tell you, you're gonna be like, oh, Braveheart. It's the main music in Braveheart. I'm gonna make it into this epic, shreddy metal thing. You hear it now. Yep, you hear it now. Hold on, right here, I hear something in my head. Okay, we need some big stompies right here. All right, now we gotta get fancy here. We gotta go 30-second note triplets, maybe. Here, if this is too fast. A little too fast, I think. Let's do 16th note triplets. It's a little bit better. Hold on, let me mute that. That's a little bit too fast. Also, let's do 30-second notes. It's a little too fast too. Maybe it's just good old 16th. Ooh, good old 16th notes. Come on, daddy. Okay. Nope, too slow. Oh, should I 16th note triplet again? That was too fast. No, that's too slow. So it's got to be 30-second notes. Okay.
Whoa, we got a bot comment. Cheap viewers on streamboot.com remove the space. Botanical Plight. That's almost a cool username for a bot.
Botanical Plight.
Botanical Plight.
Right here, it crescendos up. We all need to stop right there.
Everybody in the room who's not me, shut up.
What?
That's what, anytime Alex is doing something,
Is that what he says?
he just says that. It doesn't matter if there's anybody in the room with him or not.
I like it. That seems
It
very
just-
Alex.
That seemed like the vibe of what you were doing. Everybody in the room that's not me, shut up.
There you go. I mimic the when the drummer goes. Oh yeah, we need some war drum sounds right here. Ooh, play that sloppy. We'll fix that later. Should we have the brass match the drums or the bass probably? Yeah. I think so. Let's go ahead and wait a minute. Go ahead and grab this. Let's go ahead and go down here to this. Everybody that's not me, shut up.
There it is. Finally leaving work at... What time is it?
8:40.
8:40.
8:40. Sipping on some scissor. Sipping on some scissor. We got F1, F2. These probably need to go up to F3. I think we feel like we need some support here. Oh, yeah. Sound like a car horn.
Why does it make me want to watch the Animaniacs?
No clue. Man, I kind of want to add some timpanis.
Never a bad choice. I said, what about breakfast at Timpani's?
Wow, dude. You're fired.
I'll see myself out.
Breakfast.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. We got a thread from Aiko, and I would not pay. 40 minutes after close. Yo, you drawing a hand? My favorite. I am. My sister yelled at me. I just want to go home, but she's texting. My sister yelled at me. I just want to go. Okay, yes, I'm drawing a hand. I was drawing a scene, and then I was getting frustrated, so I needed to do something that could make me practice and kind of turn my brain off a little bit. Also, why is your sister yelling at you, and what do you mean that you want to go home but she's texting? Is she yelling at you and you know she's at home so you don't want to go home and get yelled at face to face? Are you saying she's out somewhere and you feel obligated to stay out and help her with whatever she's yelling about, yet you want to go home?
What's the Unsolved Mysteries music?
Dude, that meme I sent you where it was like me watching a show called Unsolved Mysteries. It was like this
they never
mystery
solved that.
was never solved. Oh, because I can't drive, she's my Uber driver. Oh, so she's mad at you, so she's not going to come pick you up from work. Is that right? Is that what's happening? I work with my sister. This story is making 0 sense to me. I can't follow it. This is FYI. This is why I'm like one of those paragraph texter guys, is because I think I'm just kind of dumb. And so like if you give me too little of information, my brain will be like, there's 5 ways I could read this.
Okay, hold on a minute. Let me see if I can make some sense out of this. All right, my sister yelled at me. I just want to go home, but she's texting. Oh, yeah, I see what's happening. She's texting. She wants to leave. She's upset because she's waiting on her. So she was holding her at work longer. She wants to go home. The sister doesn't seem to care because she's just sitting there texting.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I thought Ayako was texting.
I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's how I read it.
See, because I didn't know that she drove her home when I read that first one. So when I read that first one, I thought that she was trying to get her sister to come pick her up and was texting back and forth with her sister who yelled at her. I didn't realize they were in the same location.
Yeah, the way I read that is they're in the same location.
Yep.
Yeah.
Thanks, John. There you go. Don't pander me, Ayako. I'm kidding. Not about the part where I'm not a smart person. I'm kidding about the part where I'm actually frustrated with you. I'm not frustrated with you.
Are you trailing off?
Yeah.
Gird your loins, you greasy young pimp. I don't know where that came from, all right?
I've never heard that version.
No one wants to hear that version.
Bro, I have like 2 big assignments due tonight at midnight. I'm cooked. Chat, is Ayako cooked?
Boom, 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 boom. I'm cooked. Yeah, focus on that. You can just leave us in the background being obnoxious. I'm doing this anyways.
Yeah, if you need any help, let me know.
If you need any help, shut us off.
If you need any help, turn on a stream with smart people. And
I show speed. I'm the only one here, yes. Yep, chat, I'm the only one here. You are, on all platforms. Okay, that's going to be the end. So we got to lead up to that. We're going to try to get away with playing this whole shindig twice.
ooh,
So
are
I'm going
we?
to take this to bar 29. I got to move the song to bar 29. I don't know what I want to do for the intro. Do I want to do it on guitar? I might do it on guitar. I might try to do it like a finger style. We're going to find out. That's what we're going to mess with right now. That ain't the finger style sound, boy. Boy, and I said.
I say. Dude, I don't know what's wrong with me.
What's wrong with your brain tonight, dude?
I don't know. I think it's just I had to sit through 4 hours of training 2 days in a row. And so my brain is just kind of literally in some sort of weird buffering chat. I'm the only one here. So I see. Oh.
I need to start working on my story more, but writing the steps to the point I want to get to is so hard. Like, I need to write the parts of the story where you get to know the other characters.
Dude, study Vinland Saga on how to create characters. Not that you don't already know things, I'm not suggesting that, because I don't know what you know about that. But I actually think Vinland Saga sets up the most beautiful character development moment, and they take an entire season and a half to get you to this emotional, intense point, and you believe that the character, it's not one of those things where like the character changes their mind all of a sudden, you're like, why did they do that? You hit the realization as Thorfinn's hitting that realization, and it is so powerful. I literally have brought it up to John a couple times before. I think that the character development writing for Thorfinn in Vinland Saga is some of the best writing I've ever read.
Ah. Wait a minute, that's weird.
I like to write the dark parts though, like the traumatizing stuff. Part in the story that leaves you in shock. I don't know, it's just so fun and easy. Yeah, but you have to set that hook up, and I think that's what Vinland Saga did really well. Because the part that hit me was in the second season when you meet up with him from the very beginning of the season when he's sold into slavery, and he is just a emotionless shell. He literally doesn't care. He doesn't care that he's being mistreated. He doesn't care that he's being worked like crazy. He just does what he does, and he does it. He doesn't care that those two guys are stealing his food. They're being jerks. Like he just doesn't fight them. That emotional valley is created by that entire first season buildup of, you get the first couple episodes where they don't tell you his dad's a great guy. They show you his dad is a great man. He's an unbelievably capable warrior, head and shoulders above all the men around him. He's a good dad, and all he wants is good for his family and his people. So they show you that. They don't tell you that. Then you see the admiration because you admire him too. So you get the admiration Thorfinn has for his father because you admire that character. They showed you that he was a good man. They didn't just say, hey, he's a good guy. And then they take him away from Thorfinn. So then you feel that anguish that he feels when he's screaming on the back of that boat that he's going to kill Askeladd. And then you follow in that entire season down that rabbit hole of just gruesome murder after battle. And a lot of those battles, by the way, are historical battles between actual countries and stuff like that that they're following through. So then you follow him through that dark hole of him just descending into nothing but hatred, and you grow with him in that. And then at the end of the season, like, you expect that payoff of, okay, he's going to get his revenge, and then he doesn't. And then so you feel that same rejection that he does, and then they introduce you into him in the second season. So then you're like, okay, we've put him in this low point, and we took an entire, 16 episode arc. Yeah, no, it's just so sad. Yeah. Yeah, it's just so sad because I can't write the good part for a long while. I'm going to make a super long part that's just happy, sunshines and rainbows. It's going to take forever. It's all part of the journey, dude.
Hold on, I got something to say, but bear with me.
Where?
About this exact thing that you guys are talking about, and specifically Aeko.
Yeah, I kind of gave up on my thought.
Hold on, bear with me. Nope. There it is. I think I want to play this fingerstyling intro. If you just paid attention to what I did, I just wrote the ending to this version of this Braveheart cover, the epic part, the build-up first. And now that helps me do the lead-up. Maybe, not telling you what to do, write your part as heartfelt and emotional as you want, leaving all those things that you're like, oh, I'm going to have to set that up. Oh, I'm going to have to set that up. Oh, that's fine. Have that hook sitting there, though, so that you know where you're going. It's almost like you have the advantage of knowing where point Z is, and now you're going to go through the rest of the alphabet. It might change. Be prepared for it to change a little bit, but that's how I wrote this song. That's how I did your song. I wrote that main melody before pretty much any of that other stuff.
Yeah, that's a good point, too. You don't have to... Just because the story progresses in a certain order doesn't mean you have to start writing that story in that order. Some stories people actually write because they're like, hey, this is the end that I want.
Yes.
How do I get there as crazy or as intently as possible? Yeah. Christopher Nolan's a big guy like that. If you pay attention to Christopher Nolan movies, all of his movies, the entire structure of it is just messing with how the plot is delivered to the viewer.
Yep.
So, his earliest movie I remember was called Memento. That movie seems like it's all out of order and doesn't literally make sense until the last scene. That's because how he wrote the plot is he wrote the last part and then he went and wrote the first part, and then when he filmed it, his plot, instead of his timeline on here, if you can see this, instead of his plot being a linear timeline, his plot was like this. This was the end of the movie. This was the beginning, and how he went to get there was like that, and then crisscrossed back and forth over the plot until it all made sense. A movie that his most recent movie that I honestly didn't really like that much was called Tenet, and that movie he messed with the plot being almost like a story version of a palindrome where it ends the same way it begins, and you can watch it backwards or forwards and it makes sense essentially, which is a wild concept. Inception is he just takes those layers and then jumps back and forth between reality and a dream in such a way that you don't know which is real and which is fake. Like, he just kind of messes with the plot. I need the feeling of every character and how they relate to the main character. We'll take them one at a time, Ayako. See, I have a rough sketch at the end, but I can't write it as good without all the other information. I need the feeling of every character.
This is why you don't use Chat GPT to do your schoolwork. Ah. That part's hard to do. Ah. I'm giving you a hard time. I hear you loud and clear. You don't want to use it to do the donkey work. I'm messing with you. You get it figured out. I mean, just think about it for a minute, you know? Start with the ending. It's okay. Start with the part you want to get out of your soul also. Sometimes I feel like that helps. Like, get the part out that you want to get out of you. And then it's out of you. And then you can really sit and mess with all the elements to it.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, too, that's literally what I just did. So I have this drawing that I want to do of a Lord of the Rings scene. And there's a lot of things I want out of it. Emotionally right now, the only thing that I feel really locked in on was creating the composition of it. I've been going through that in my head for a while. So I just laid out the composition of it, and then I started going in trying to refine the sketch of the composition, and it wasn't there, you know what I mean? So that's why I just moved on for a little bit, and I'm kind of doing this drawing because I took a picture of my hand in somewhat the same pose as the hand that I'm going to draw on the character. That way I can have a close-up view of it and draw and mess around with it, and then maybe when it comes time to actually drawing next week, I'll be like, okay, I'm emotionally ready for this one right now. But I got out of the way the thing that I was ready to get out of the way tonight. So I still made it out with a little bit of a victory, I guess.
All right. School kills me. I want to work on my art and writing, but instead I got to do useless stuff. I don't have time.
That's
It doesn't
life.
help that I draw in school instead of doing my schoolwork.
Yeah, that was me too, actually. I actually had a professor, I've told John this, I had a professor that was an art history professor. And in those upper level art classes, you really are only running into other students in there that are in some sort of a creative degree, because the general education art history is for everybody, whereas when you get in the upper level, it's either people that want to be art historians or they want to get a degree in metalsmithing, ceramics, graphic design, studio drawing, like stuff like that. So they're taking these upper level classes. When you get people that have that kind of mental persuasion, they doodle when they think. And so every time that I would be in her class, I would write a note down and then I would doodle. For some reason, this made this woman frustrated because she took any sign of doodling as you were not listening to the words that she was teaching. So she would literally come around, and if there was a drawing on the side of your page, she would stop her lecture and tap on your desk and be like, "Let's stop doing that." And she's like, "Okay, lady, I didn't even realize I was doing it." Like, because I'll do it without thinking. If I have a pencil in my hand and paper in front of me, I will literally just start drawing something while I'm thinking, and it's not like super conscious. So I would get yelled at all the time, and it wasn't one of those deals where it's like, oh, she's yelled at me about this, I'll make sure not to do it. Because like if I go into autopilot and I'm listening to her, I'm just going.
You're just going.
I'm just going.
I believe you.
I know. I need to stop talking.
Wait, hold on a minute. I have the advantage of leading myself into this. This is not I may not be able to do this right now. I may not be able to concentrate hard enough. Failing over and over again. Ruined it already.
The commentary has been gold.
Ruined it already. This is so much harder than you think it is.
This sucks because I think it's hard.
Already messed it up. Oh, wait a minute. Is that what he does? Hold on a minute here. I just heard something. I might do this later when nobody's paying attention to me. The art of recording guitar is far more difficult than the art of writing and playing live.
The art of what?
Recording guitar. It's like a whole other art form.
I believe that.
Oh, it does go to E. Okay, I'm a fool. I get it now. You know, maybe I should separate these tracks. I don't know, let me think about that. Let me listen to this. No, it's gotta be like this. Yeah, I'm gonna get this nailed. I'm gonna have to sit here and just play this for a while until I get it drilled in my head. It's hard to really also record fingerstyle, something you just learned or taught yourself 10 minutes ago. Almost played it perfectly. Well, should have been recording that. Most of that was good.
This is for what I did in class. I would start taking notes and then get sidetracked. Okay. I would start taking notes and then get sidetracked completely, but still listening. My sentences on my pages for a look like this. Business is when someone customer is. That's funny. Well, I mean that you might have to get better about, but I would finish the note and then when they were on to the descriptive stuff that I could tell wasn't going to be on the exam. I don't know. I can passively listen pretty well. Even though it doesn't seem like it, I promise I do.
You rat-faced nincompoop.
You cool if I post you to my story?
Who's me?
Yeah.
What, me? I'm just sitting here
I won't.
ruining guitar takes. I don't know how. And I don't know what you got.
You're just in the background playing music.
Oh,
But I won't do it.
son of a. Okay, one of these times I'm gonna play this right.
Aiko, who is your favorite character in all of fiction? This could be movies, TV shows, anime, manga.
Close.
Got her thinking on that one. Well, I like Luffy from One Piece, and I like AM from I Have No Mouth, I Must Scream.
Am.
Is it AM or A? Is it like, it's just AM?
I think so.
I didn't know if it was, because it's an acronym, I'm pretty sure. So I didn't know if it was pronounced like AM to the PM, PM to the A. Why do you like those characters? I didn't mean to, I was exhaling when I asked that. I wasn't
I was
asking.
gonna say that seemed very uninterested.
Yeah, no, I took a deep breath and decided to speak while I was exhaling, so that's why that sounded judgmental, and that was not in my heart.
And then I messed up. Right there, of course.
Luffy is cute and happy and makes me smile. It's probably the only time I actually smile is when I'm watching One Piece. Am is so evil and honestly kind of relatable. I don't know, he's just cool. What makes what makes that thing relatable?
It
Evil?
hates humans.
Evil and relatable is interesting to me.
It hates humans. She hates humans. Ooh, almost played it right. She hates humans, doesn't want to be a human, would rather be a cat. And I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm a rat.
I'm waiting for
might be able to piecemeal this together just to get the time passing here.
Honestly, kind of correct. The hatred towards people and the feeling on hatred. It was exactly about hate I feel sometimes.
You sound like a person that likes heavy metal, but you don't yet. That's gonna happen.
TBD.
Why do you hate humans so much? Downer? Being a Debbie Downer?
See, this is what I think, like, and this is my personal opinion. I don't think this is the way everybody should think. I just want to throw that out there. But this is why I think certain characters grab me more, is I understand, like, I understand, like, feeling that negative emotion very strongly, and it almost comes from losing something, you know? Like, you don't just feel that way naturally, like hatred towards humans, you know, like something happens that pushes you down that path. And I think good character writing is when you acknowledge that emotion, but you reintroduce the hope back to that character, which is what I was getting at with Thorfinn earlier, because that moment that I was talking about was when he finally shows up to that guard station and they're like, we're just going to cut you. And he's like, do it. I don't care if I die. And they're just sitting there slashing him, cutting his ear, cutting his face. And he's not moving. And they're like, dude, this guy's messed up. And then finally that other guy shows up. And Thorfinn's like, it's fine. I don't care if I live or die. Nothing matters. And like, that's, whether or not that's dramatic or something like that to say, like, we've all felt sort of like that at some point, I think. And in the moment that one guy goes to act, he's like, okay, give me a turn. And he takes his sword out, and he gets a look in his eye, and Thorfinn knows that he's going to kill him. Like, he can tell the difference of the look of that guy's eye versus the look of the other guy. He knew deep down those guys weren't actually going to hurt him. I don't hate all people. I don't know if I can explain it. So he knew those guys weren't really going to hurt him deep down. They weren't going to kill him. So he was just taking the licks, you know? And when that other guy had that look in his eye, he knew he was going to kill him, and instinctively he dodged the guy's attack. And he immediately in that moment goes into this internal dialogue with, this doesn't make any sense. I don't care if I live or die. I don't care. So why did my body react that way? And he immediately has a crisis of his own faith that he's had, because he's been so certain that he's just waiting to die and he doesn't care. And then in the moment when death was actually at his doorstep, he ran from it. And that goes back to that old, I think it's a Arabic proverb that's like, if you wish to die, throw yourself into the sea. And when death comes for you, your body will struggle to go with it. And it's in that moment that you'll realize what you want to kill is not yourself, but something within inside yourself. And that moment is what that whole first season and part of the second season of Thorfinn's character building, of showing his rise and fall, and then him in that anguish moment, and then all of a sudden that realization into him kicks. And I think that that's good character writing, is because that was a cool scene. I wonder sometimes what I would do in that situation.
What option involves the most killing? That's the one I'm picking. Because if I'm coming to kill you, it's the most extreme acts of violence are taking place. This is sloppy. I need to.
Maybe I'm alone on that one, but I think that that's super cool.
Alone in what?
Like that character development, like
You realize that in that moment.
just like I think the strongest characters are the ones that feel the things that we all feel, but they're introduced with that real reintroduction of hope in the situation. You know what I mean?
I could vibe on that. I mean, that's a pretty cool character trait. Well, that's real loud. We ain't gonna be that extra on that part, man.
Time you got, homie?
9:30, man. What are you clocking out?
I mean, soon. I gotta be back and I gotta do the long drive tomorrow.
Damn, you clocking out early, dog. No, I'm just messing with you.
What about early? When it hits 10 o'clock, that's usually...
Yeah.
I don't think my brain is normal. The way I think is concerning sometimes. I mean, us too, I guess, right?
What is this?
She said, I don't think that my brain is normal. The way that I think is concerning sometimes.
I wouldn't worry about it too much. I get pretty weird.
Yeah.
Did I mess something up here? It's normal. And at that stage in your development, I've got an idea of where you're at in the world. Your testosterone's probably going to be the highest it's ever going to be in your entire life. The testosterone makes you feel weird. The plight of man is that we have to digest and live by a set of rules in what I call the dirt devil dominion, which is the place that makes you fight, which is the thing that makes you kill. And the logic and the systems that work for that world, I'm starting to learn now. It's taken me quite a while. Doesn't fit into the feminine part. I didn't say female, but feminine, because we all have male and female aspects. That mindset doesn't. I don't know. This is a raw thought. It doesn't fit in the feminine framework. And it's hard to shut the two. It's hard to shut the one down sometimes. I messed this up. That's why it sounds dumb.
I don't know. I have a different way of thinking. Like, I've started looking back into my past and breaking down my actions, and it's pretty bad.
Stop. Get help.
No, that's not abnormal.
Yeah, I wouldn't beat yourself up too bad about it. I mean, it's life, man. Life makes you, it's rough.
This is terrible, but because it is really making light of a sort of emotionally honest situation. But have you ever seen Marcel the Shell? Yeah.
Hold on. I don't know what that is.
So there's these YouTube videos a long time ago, and it was this character called Marcel the Shell, and it was like an actual seashell that they glued a googly eye on and gave it like shoes, and it would just talk in this miniature voice and say goofy things. And one of the quotes that I always used to use for it was, it always said, "People always say that my head's too big for my body, or my head's too big," or something like that. And I always say, compared to what? Marcel the Shell? Yeah. And that's always what it, like, when you're like, I'm not normal. What are you comparing yourself to? Because nobody's really normal. Like, compared to what?
Yeah, no kidding.
That's the thing that's, I think, is a blessing in disguise about getting older, is you start realizing, because you see it, that everybody's kind of in the same boat you are in a lot of ways.
Nobody knows anything?
Yeah. Everybody, like, you were sitting there being so scared that you're like, oh man, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what decisions I'm making. I don't know this, that, or whatever. And then all of a sudden you're like, oh, okay. Nobody does, and it's fine.
Nobody does.
Yeah. Compared to what? I'm gonna have this song playing in my sleep.
Hell yeah, that's the plan.
I didn't say I was mad about it. I just said it was gonna happen.
Yeah, like you're gonna have a dream about it.
The thing is, I know why I do majority of the things I do, and it's just odd. It's odd.
You know, you'll get it figured out. You're a teenage kid, man. Stuff's supposed to feel goofy. One of the things I don't like... Oh, there's more words.
Whoa. The hand is looking fabulous. Thank you.
Fabulous. The lifestyle of the rich and famous. I think what I actually might do is cut that out and just go. You're young, you know, you're figuring things out. One of the things I don't like is the world kind of has this thing right now where it's trying to push young people to think and be a certain way because they're like, man, you feel weird. Maybe you're like this. And I hate that they implant that thought into your mind because maybe it's just let the young person be the young person figuring out their path. Don't take on some kind of a thing that the older folks are trying to talk you into and make you feel weird. Like you're a teenager. You're supposed to feel weird and trying to figure stuff out. It doesn't mean that like you're broken or you need to fit a certain lifestyle. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Just I think it's terrible that we do this to young people, especially a lot nowadays. I don't see it as much. I didn't see it as much when we were growing up. I feel like it's really bad now. They take these kids and in the midst of puberty, and then they say, hey, you feel weird about your body. Maybe you should think or feel like this. It's like, well, wait a minute. They're a kid, first of all. Stop talking to them about this and like that. And second of all, yeah, of course they're going to feel weird.
They're a kid. They're a teenage kid. They're going through puberty and stuff. Stuff's weird for a while. It just is. What did I do? Where's my fade-ins? Do I not get to do that to this? Oh, is this baked in now? Oh, interesting. So I gotta put my own fade-ins on this? Like this?
Yeah, I see the internet pushing stuff into kids' brains. Me and my dad talk about it a lot. It's sad.
So, don't let your own version of that take place. Remember, the internet's not real life. Don't feel weird for the things that you think. Joan of Arc was a teenage girl. How weird do you think her brain felt?
That's going to be one of those out of context quotes that I constantly think about for. And I promise you it's out of context because the only other one that pops up is that one time we were at church and we were playing, I think it was for the high school hour, and you came in after using the water fountain. You said, "Have you tried that water fountain? It has a serious calibration oversight." It's like, what?
It did. It hit the wall, dude. I was like,
What's funny is I do remember exactly the one that it is because I remember like pushing it after you said that and it went over the thing and it was into the water, like onto the ground. Yeah. And the ground was wet right there, so I know multiple people had done it.
Yes.
I just can't explain the way I think without sounding like a psychopath. Dude, I tell John all the time I sound like a psychopath right now. Don't I?
Oh, yeah. That's a regular occurrence. I'm a maniac. You do not want to think about the things that I think about. Trust me.
We all be like that.
If I didn't have kids, woo.
Mm-hmm. Not saying that what you're experiencing isn't unique. Have you seen that water fountain? What is it? Have you seen that water fountain? Yeah. It's exactly what he came in and told me.
Have you seen that water fountain? That's got a serious calibration issue.
I echo on a lighter note. I bought 3 anime t-shirts this week because I wanted them. I got a Kaiju number 8 shirt, Attack on Titan shirt, and Jujutsu Kaisen shirt. You lit. That's probably really obnoxious on there, and I need to stop doing that.
I just went.
Dude, I'm just telling you, after the last 2 days, my brain is literally on shuffle with intrusive thoughts.
Is this out of alignment? It is. How did this happen?
Bro, at Comic Con, I think I spent like 500 plus bucks on One Piece stuff. I'm excited to do it again. It's nice having a job now so I can buy stuff for my room. But also having a job means I can't draw as much. Yeah, dude. I feel like you just laid out the plight of my life.
For real.
No, I have a big boy job now, and I have an office cubicle. But in my cubicle, I made sure that I have a little BMO figurine. I don't know if you ever watched Adventure Time, Ayako, but I have a little figurine that I found online, and it's BMO, and BMO's just sitting there with a headset on, listening to music, and so I just have it sitting up on my desk.
About to give this a break. So this is kind of how I wrote your song, also in a very similar
Not
fashion.
the office cubicle. Go ahead, sorry.
No, I wrote her song in a similar fashion. I lay down the bones one night. That was that Friday night after I talked to you, and then I'll let this sit for a day. I don't want to focus too hard on it and let my brain cells kind of sleep on it. And then tomorrow I'll come back and I will redo this whole thing as I'm just a piano player. And then I'll take a break from it and go hang out with the kids and do something. Then I'll come back and be like, okay, I'm just a lead guitar player. What do I want to clean up? I could just think of the song as the lead guitar player.
That's interesting, actually.
Then I come back and I think of just the song as the horns and just the, and then I piece it all together. But okay, if I was the horns, I would do this little sweet add-on, and I give it a couple passes at all that. So it'll take me about 3 days, and then I'll have a pretty solid track. So that's kind of what I mean, if I was going to write your story, that's what I would do. I'd get your ending set up and then think about it from like each person, like isolate that character and think, what is that guy going to do in this journey? What's his significance in that? And then, so get your ending set up and then isolate one person, isolate your female character.
The strategy is fire, she said by that.
Kind of isolate that one person and walk them through that journey. You're going to have to do multiple revisions of all of these things several times over, is what I would think. So if I was writing a story, I would probably write in almost the same way I write this music sometimes. I don't always do this, though. Sometimes the song comes to me in a straight shot, and I get it all done in one big, giant 5-6 hour session, and then the ending doesn't reveal itself until the end. Sometimes I start with the ending, sometimes I start with the middle. And if your soul really feels that epic part and it's calling you, that might be doing that for a reason. And ignoring that, you might be robbing yourself of creative potential. You might be feeling that energy for that ending, even if it seems illogical. It's kind of like, what is that thing where they always say that love isn't logical? Like your heart just kind of picks, right? It doesn't really make brain sense. And if you try to make brain sense of your romantic thing, it usually gets crummy, you know? And I kind of feel like being creative is very romantic. And then if you try to always make it make brain sense, it's the romance of your creative endeavor is going to be stifled because you're trying to make your brain make brain sense. That's why you don't like the engineers. They're trying to make the whole process brain sense. When you're not wrong when you point out design things, but the crummy, stupid, illogical part of the job, and I totally sympathize with you, is that technically you're an engineer. So you technically have to go through change orders And you're like, but guys, I changed a font. Like, this doesn't make any sense.
It's one of those
Here's
deals
the
where it's
brain
like
problem. Yep. Yeah, it's a brain problem.
they get in that mode too, where it's like, we've always done it this way. It's like, oh, okay, so I'm not allowed to question it. Cool. But I genuinely can't write that part without the rest of the story. You don't understand the whole story correctly, so I can correctly mentally destroy the main characters. Yeah, but like, I don't know. I think that's what kind of John's getting at too. Is like you could start and say, okay, I want him to have to leave. I'm just using this as a raw example off the top of the dome. I want him to have to leave this person behind on a journey through like a valley or something like that. I want the main character to have to make this decision. How do I make that hurt? Okay, what if I make them childhood friends and I use the first half of the story showing how, he saved him from a bad situation. So I don't just show that they're childhood friends. I show that when they were childhood friends, the guy that he's going to leave behind, that guy actually went back for him for something and saved him. And so then, like, just that little bit of knowledge in the backstory of the character, rather than saying it, you show it. Just that little bit of story makes that moment you want to have where you wrench the character that much more powerful. And so then, yes, now I have like this point and this point now, or this point and this point, and now I just got to fill in through here, and you just work backwards through it. You know what's weird? We have had her the whole time,
Yeah.
and we had that bot, but we only have one viewer. So we didn't get a view for that bot that popped in.
China.
You thought?
I'm going to quit doing this because we're not going to stream much longer, and I can stand here and look at this. See the past problems. I already got that part, though. I just got to grow the characters more. Like, oh, so you already did the end. Wait till you get to the...
That's kind of what I was saying, though.
Wait till you get to the part where they meet the guitar god. Young god meets the guitar god. The old guitar god. He shows up when you need him the least.
Dude, that'd be so funny. Total inappropriate guitar solo moment.
That was the Superman parody. Do you remember
Captain
ever seeing
Hindsight? Are you talking about?
something like that? And he shows up after the stuff goes down.
Yeah.
Well, good thing this is cleaned up.
It was a South Park episode. It was Captain Hindsight.
No, I didn't do the end.
They'd be like, he'd fly down. There'd be a building on fire, and he'd fly down, and they'd be like, "Oh, look, everyone, it's Captain Hindsight," and he's like, They should have installed fire escapes on the outside of the building so that the people from the upper floors could have escaped this fire." I'm like, "Wow, you're right, Captain Hindsight." And then he just flies away. It's like he didn't help anything.
Just need that end. You'll figure it out. I got faith. I got faith in you. You'll get it going. I don't know. I'm trying to imagine, like, leading up. I just couldn't imagine doing it any other way. I'd get my final scene and final events lockdown. I don't think I could. I'm not telling her what to do anymore. She's got her own idea of how she needs to do that. And it's kind of like trying to teach somebody how to serve the way you want them to serve. It's going to mess up your feng shui.
Yeah. You're like a support character. You play music, and it gives buffs to the team. You'll be drawn in the background jamming out.
Yeah, see? No, I got a goated power. See, that's what I'm saying, dude.
Dude, that's what I've been really obsessed with. This is kind of off the beaten path. But what I've been really obsessed with lately is, like, I guess you call them short films, but animated ones. Because I think the animations are all cool and stuff like that. But short films, because I love how they can tell a story with, like, you don't have time to really develop characters, but you still develop a character.
Oh, yeah.
It's genius how they do it.
Before I could even really speak English, what moved me to tears was that cartoon about the two hats. You ever seen that? That short story about the two hats?
I don't think so.
And they fall in love in the hat store, and somebody buys the female hat that he falls in love with, and nobody buys him, and he kind of gets thrown away, and he's all sad, and he ends up on a horse and all this different stuff, and eventually somebody finds him, restores him, and he finds his way into like a prize collection or whatever, and his girlfriend hat's there waiting for him on the rack, and then they rekindle. My mom said I was a little bitty kid crying, and like I couldn't. I'll have to find that cartoon, and I couldn't process it, but it still got me.
I mean, it sounds like all those old animated.
Let me see if I can find
short
that.
stories.
I'm not trying to tell her what to do because she's got her idea. Because I feel like if I try to press,
No, I mean, if anything, I was just trying to give a little insider advice because, like, I've been researching how to write characters for the last like year and a half because it was something I just randomly got. Well, I guess it's longer than a year and a half because it's been since COVID, but it's just been something that I've kind of gotten a itch to do at some point.
This is it here.
And so I'm just kind of.
Is it the whole thing? Oh, that's what it is. They end up on horses together.
Like a horse to wear the hats?
Yeah. This is a janky version of it, but this is a cartoon that made me cry as a little kid.
I love that old school animation.
It's a janky video of this, and this is not the music, I don't think. See, there he is. So she gets bought by this lady, and now he's sad.
Pushing his nose up against the window. That's such good animation, though. It's like show emotion out of a hat. Yeah, and the ribbon waving. Dude, that's so clever.
I know. And so he gets bought by this guy, and he's looking for her everywhere he thinks he sees her. And he sees her, and now he's got to go get her.
Johnny kept near. His voice became.
And then he gives up. He gets beat up, torn up. They get him and they put him on a horse.
Was done without malice,
he's given up, and then finds out that they put her on the horse, and then now they're bridled together. This cartoon put me in shambles when I was a little kid.
It's hilarious.
But see, this is like you were just talking about the short story.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was like there was no. That was it. That's what that was. And then they go to the stable, the barn together. And that's where they live. Boy, that thing had me in shambles, but that was how a short story could be emotional. Okay, what is this? Play some music. Honestly, characters just came to me as I write and draw them. Half their personality comes just as I draw them. And writing writes itself. It's magic. See, there you go. You got a process, and that's pretty cool.
Use that magic.
again, like if I felt like if I was just like, yeah, right, and wanted to be a boomer, it'd mess up your feng shui. But that's what I would do. I would think of like all the people you would want there, how everything goes down, how all the tragedy happens, right? Like that last half, that epic half. Just pour your heart out on that, get that out of you, and you might free the heart and the soul space to develop the rest of it. Man, I don't know why, but I'm randomly thinking about the plot to Baldur's Gate again. What a fantastically written thing. Because the way that you have the realization post-credits makes you realize how insignificant, like, your part of it is, at the same time how significant it is, and then at the same time how it wasn't about you at all, and at the same time how it was 100% about your guy. Just the way they pulled the ending of that off was so incredibly masterful. Because when you realize what happened, because it has like all of the depth of the characters and all those relationships and friendships that you built with them and everything, and you see all their little different endings, and you know, depending on the decisions you made, completely changes how the game ends. And then the lizard chick, that's a heartfelt ending, and then the devil chick, and then the one you romance, at least the one I romanced, and then you have that ending that fits into it, you know, and it's like she's got nobody and says, well, this is all over. I've got nowhere to go. I've got nobody left. And it was just you. And then you have your little dialogue moments where you're like, well, it's you know, it's just us now, or whatever, however you want to end that. And then all of that's wrapping up. It's all heartfelt. And then it goes back to Withers, the guy that the demigod that you, well, cough, cough. I'd always be down. Do it. Yeah, however you want to share it, do it.
I'll read it.
I'll absolutely read it. Yeah, do that. I don't know, however you want to share that. Figure it out. We'll both read it and give you good feedback without being mean. But then you realize that the god you find in the beginning, he's kind of like almost a non-character through the whole game. And then Withers, you realize it was like, oh, smokes. It was like, it's not about you, it was, and it wasn't. And then it was like he was the main character, but then he wasn't. And it's just, man, it's just, in that one scene at the end, they just tie it all up, and you're like, I gotta do this again. Now, like, that's a game where it immediately makes you want to play it again when you realize what has actually taken place. You know, because
that's why I like the games like Far Cry 5. The way you played that one storyline, didn't you? 'Cause you were the one that got me into that. I can't remember.
That's the American one, right?
Yeah. The way that one ends, it's like, I was like, oh. Yeah. And then I realized what was happening and where you are is almost not important, and that the whole time I was hearing like radio broadcasts that I just didn't listen to. But if I had been listening to them throughout the whole game, I would have realized what was going on in the outside world at the time. Yes. And realized what was coming.
Man, that's the most ridiculous game I think I've ever played. I played it with Matt. That was the most fun. That or the Ghost Recon Wildlands. One of those two is my favorite co-op experience. Far Cry 5 and co-op is absolutely insane.
Yep.
That's a great game. Yeah, send your stuff. I'll definitely read it. If I was going to make a story, what would I make my story about? Oh, yeah, I'll share this with you because I share it on Discord and I can send it.
Well, why does she know you as J Rex?
Wait a minute, what did she say? I'll share it.
She said, I'll share it on the Discord. You can send it to each other.
I'll be honest, I don't know y'all's names. What? It's almost like we're talking to somebody else. That's confusing.
Yeah, I'll share it on Discord and you can send it to each other. I'm going to be honest, I don't know y'all's names. All I know is the guitar player is J Rex. Why does she know you as J Rex? How would she have found
That's
it?
my Discord. Are you just talking about you don't know our Discord names or something?
She might not know my name. I don't know if you've ever said it.
It's on the title of the
Oh,
channel.
that's super funny. Leave comment on John and Kyle. I don't know you guys' names.
Are you okay? Is this somebody else? Man, what the heck was I? I forgot what I was talking about.
You're talking about Far Cry 5 co-op experience.
Oh, if I was writing a story, I'll share that.
No, I don't know y'all's names. How would I know who is who? That's fair, but you at least have 2 guesses.
See, this is almost as bad as me thinking you were Asian.
I'm dead. I am deceased also. I echo.
That's Kyle.
Yeah, I'm Kyle.
And I always should have had you guess.
Yep.
Well, it'd have been easy to figure out J-Rex.
Yeah, we'd asked for a guess, and it would have been like 5 years later because of the delay.
Yeah, I'm John. That's Kyle. Okay, check this out.
I shall.
I shared this with Kyle. Nobody's watching. You're not going to steal my IP idea, but the IP, we used to come up with IPs. We've got a bunch of cool stories. All sorts of different radical ideas to think about. I'll share a couple of them with you. So the one that I just came up with was a focus on reincarnation, where I was like, how cool would it be where it's like you can do through different periods, not fantasy, because we have a couple fantasy ones, but it would be different time periods going all the way back to ancient times. And you have a guy that's the reluctant warrior that starts a revolution or an uprising, but the tipping point in all of his reincarnated lives leading up to modern times is always that he doesn't believe in the religious or the supernatural or the God component to life until he encounters the most evil people of their day and age, and the fact that they are involved in the anti-God. So every single reincarnation of the warrior storyline, it's the same spirit of the warrior being born again. He learns the same karmic lesson every time, which is, I don't believe in the divine. I don't believe in the thing beyond us. I'm just a hired gun in one story, or I'm just a soldier, or I'm just a guard. I'm just a castle guard. Like it's just, life has no meaning. Life has no purpose. He's extremely nihilistic. The character in every single one of the stories is nihilistic. But he has the same event takes place, the same karmic lesson his soul has to learn every reiteration of himself, which is that he doesn't believe that there is a God that has a purpose for good until he encounters the outright, for lack of a better term, Satan-worshiping death cult. And then he's like, no. The most evil thing I have come across believes in an entity and worships this entity. The other entity has to be real then, to me now, because the other thing is so powerful and so evil, and the most evil controlling thing on the face of the earth is a thing that believes in a God. And who am I not believing in a God? No, I choose the one that represents good. And then he busts dead ass every single time. Anyways, that was an IP idea that I came up with recently. The other one that I really liked, and I think about still very frequently, is that one where I was inspired by that Blackthorn video game, where it's like oddly futuristic Native American style, and it's very little dialogue. And then he gets trapped in a version of a world where he has to sacrifice himself in all the storylines. But the first time he does it, he doesn't realize that he's just going to be warped into another reality. It's like he dies in their reality, but he goes to a new reality that's still not his reality. So that first time he sacrifices himself, it's very scary and chaotic and emotional and stressful. And then he
blasts into another dimension after he sacrifices himself for everybody to save those people in that storyline, then he's like, wait a minute, what just happened? So then there's a period of time where a few of the jumps, he's kind of confused about what goes on. And then my idea was later in the series, he realizes that he's not really dying, like he's just changing multiverses, so to speak. So he gets very cavalier with his own life and his decisions. So at first it's all cautious, you're scared about him dying, he dies, and you're like, oh my gosh, it was the first season, what the heck? Like, what? And then the next season starts and it's like the same guy, but it's all different in a weird way. And then he's confused. And then you spend the second season building this up and he's like, wait a minute, I got to sacrifice myself again. But where am I? I didn't really die before. What happens here? And then he dies again. And then he wakes up in another place. And then he's like, wait a minute. He's starting to catch on, right? By like season 3. And then he goes, I think this is what's going to happen. And then in season 4, he's like, oh yeah, this is what's happening. And then he's just like cavalier almost with it, throwing himself in the way of danger, wrecking everything, going gung-ho.
What was the name of that, like, warthog that...
The Hell Pig?
Hell Pig.
Yeah, that was a real thing.
I know, I could not remember. That's literally what I've been sitting here trying to remember.
That was awesome. I think about that one frequently. That would be cool. It's kind of a retelling of Quantum Leap. Is what kind of had me thinking about that. Then we had the one with the knights. That was going to be cool too, where it was like a curse.
Zombie or
it was
whatever.
like, yeah, it was our version of a zombie apocalypse,
That
but it was going to be like with the tough nun, and that was a cool storyline idea. You should take, if you're still there.
Sounds crazy cool.
I know, right? Got some cool ideas. Don't steal my ideas, homie. No, I have faith. You're not going to do that. You're writing something different. That was one of the neat things that I pointed out to Kyle. I'll share. Oh, it's 10. We need to quit soon. I pointed out to Kyle I thought was amazing about you telling me about your story a little bit was you don't really write yourself in as the leader. Like you have a male character that you have in the leader, but you're still really kind of like the main character, but the group has a leader. And I thought that was interesting because every man on earth would write himself into the story as the group leader, but the young woman has herself as as one of the, even though she's the main character, she's not really the leader.
I'm always here, never going anywhere.
I thought that was unique and fun, in a fun way to show that. So you could also take, and I got to let Kyle go to sleep soon. You could also take things that happen in your life and embellish them. You could, if you need to get the story really going, you could take your, like, really embellish your rotten coach. I'm not saying you should do that or that it fits your story, but take something like that and like really draw it out to these extremes and like craft a storyline from an experience that you've actually had. You know, I know you're young, so that's hard to pull from. And it's such a catch-22. Oh, that's
I wanted
cool.
my story to be a little different.
I like that. And it's kind of a catch-22 because you want all this life experience to draw from. But I'm here to tell you, as a person with a lot of life experience to draw from, you don't really want a lot of life experience. It can be pretty awful. It can be pretty tough. But I'm in the process of alchemizing, for lack of a better term, what I've experienced into being positive for other people. That's going to be my ultimate mission. Oh, okay. See, there you go. That's already what she's doing. So you're on the right path. The story of your life. And then this greasy knucklehead found a way into this, so that when you get this done, I could be like, look, I'm a comic book character. I'm a manga character. Look at that. With his carving DC 800.
I don't know how many strings you have on any of these things.
I'm already done. I hear you. Well, homie, we got to call it quits. Kyle's brain doesn't work. He's got to go to bed.
Barely worked when I started, but
We're gonna say night to you. It was good seeing you. Sorry I missed your last couple streams. You hit that live button when I'm gone. I'm not trying to not watch you. I like to support young, upstarting creators if I get a chance. You're the only one, honestly, but I'm not trying to dodge your stream. It's been bad timing for me. So we're getting out of here. I'll wait till you say bye-bye. I'm getting Springfield, Illinois vibes.
see y'all later. No worries for making it to my stream. I know y'all have lives.
All right, big dog.